Hey everybody, what's up? I'm about to show you what is the fastest way to color correct in Avid. Not necessarily the best way. Certainly a real colorist would say this is not. So I have this clip right here. It's not really that great. You can even see here I have my Y waveform set up over here. The blacks and whites are not in a great position. So what am I going to do? The first thing I'm going to do is going to go into this button curves, and I'm going to hit auto balance and auto contrast, and that's going to get this where the whites and blacks are in the right spots, right? Blacks at 16 or 0 and whites at 235 or 100. The second thing I'm going to do is look at this green level. That's a big problem with video, is you do not want your video looking too green, and that sometimes will happen with certain shoots. The way the camera is white balanced, that's my pet peeve. So I'm looking at this green slider. I'm going to take out a little bit of the green, not too much, right? I don't want to be pink and red, just a little bit, because I also want to have some of that green in the background, right? So then I'm going to go to this HSL, I'm going to go to controls, and I'm looking at two things here. One is the saturation, but don't be afraid to saturate a clip. Sometimes clips don't have enough saturation to it, and that's what gives this right here, right now. The colors are popping with her, right? She's looking healthier. The grass is looking greener. It looks much better. And the other thing I'm looking at, this is the fourth thing, is contrast. So I like to have a decent amount of contrast, right? You don't want it washed out. You don't want it looking like a log footage that was not treated. You want to have some contrast. So this, I'm just going to eyeball this here right now. Again, a real colorist is going to hate this video and say this is just ridiculous, right? Because I'm eyeballing it just by inside the Avid. But we went from, let me put this in my source monitor, right? If you see the difference between these two really quickly, what did I do? I auto balanced the white and black levels. I took out some green. I added some saturation, and I might have added some contrast. I don't remember. So let's do this one more time. I have this guy right here, and bang, I'm going into color correction mode. I'm going to go to curves. I'm going to auto the black and white levels. Looks good, even though you could tell the white level's a little bit down. This is not a silver magic bullet. Sometimes, there, I'm going to bring the white level up a little bit. And I'm going to go back to HSL. No, I'm going to bring, maybe I'm going to check the green level a little bit. Yep, that he was definitely a little too green. That looks a lot nicer. Maybe add a little bit of contrast. Get a little shadow on him, right? And let's call that a day. Let's match that in there. And now we have the difference between these two. Subtle, but definitely this is color corrected a little bit better. So the last one I want to show you, this is definitely log footage, but what happens, let's say you put on a LUT and you try all the LUTs and you can't find anything that matches. Hey, you got to do it yourself, and you got to do it in 2 minutes. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go into color correction mode. I'm going to go to curves, auto white and black balance. Okay, I'm going to look at the green level, take it out maybe a little bit. Very little bit in this case. I'm going to go to saturation, and I'm going to increase that saturation. Now look at this baby. He's coming into life. He looks healthy. He looks good. Contrast a little bit, right? Not too much. You see what's happening when I slide that a little bit. So in 30 seconds, I went from this image, even though it was log and I didn't have the LUT or whatever, to this image, which looks a lot nicer, a lot better. Just like the beer I'm going to drink this weekend. I can't wait. So I hope you got something out of this really fast way to color correct. Someone who is a colorist and colors video for a living is probably saying this is the worst video in the history of YouTube. But I'll tell you what, if you have something, a corporate video that needs to go out in a second, you work for a television show and it needs to go on the air in 10 minutes, it's a live television show, this will get it done in a pinch. Hope you learned something from this. If you want to learn a lot more about Avid, go to avidbeer.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.